Hey Wings, it's 11:11. Woohoo! 11:11 on this beautiful Monday. I hope that you guys are all doing really, really well. And just a quick update, speaking of 11:11, we are going to have our Wings event on 11/11/2021. I have officially moved it to that date. I've updated the invite and updated the Eventbrite if you want to buy your tickets. Working through the details, working through the speaker list, definitely going to be just an amazing event. So I hope that you mark your calendars. I think we have plenty of time to plan it this year. And I'm really getting excited about all the details. Definitely have a great lineup and also a lot of fun activities already planned. So really looking forward to all of it. But let's talk about our weekly. This is our weekly focus of the week. And last week, just to recap what we talked about last week, we've been talking about strengths and weaknesses. Last week, we talked about identifying the fact that someone's strengths or what you consider a strength could actually be considered someone else's weakness and vice versa. And really how that creates the interconnectivity and how the whole world goes around, right? Who we're attracted to, who we hang out with, who we're friends with. Sometimes we recognize those traits that we wish we had, and we are attracted to those people that are opposites of us. And sometimes we're attracted to people that are similar to us. So just really honing in, I think the biggest point of the last 2 weeks have been really honing in on what your strengths and weaknesses are and doing a little bit of that internal work to figure that out. And how that sets us up for success. So today I want to talk a little bit, that's your personality strengths, right? And your characteristics and traits that you have and how you lead yourself through your daily life. There's another piece to this, and that's our physical strengths and weaknesses. I ended last week's with a little bit of a story or shared a bit about my journey. Anybody who's known me for any period of time, I'm always on a fitness journey. I'm always starting something new. I'm always challenging myself. And I would say I'm always winning and losing. I ebb and flow through this whole process, and I think a lot of us do, especially as we age. Stress can have a huge impact on how our body will metabolize and how our body reacts to the things that we put in it. And also can be an indicator of what we choose to put inside our body, especially for me. Some of us are emotional eaters. Some of us have got this locked and loaded. They've been, known what to eat their whole life and kind of have figured this out. For some people, it's a real struggle. And I would say for me, it's one of my key struggles. I would say I do really well. And then I kind of go through a phase where I sabotage what I did, whether that be caused by a multitude of things, right? But what I want to talk about this week is how we see ourselves and how that impacts everything else. And so when you talk about strengths and weaknesses and how you sort of stand up inside a room, like how confident you are and some of that has to do with how you feel about yourself physically. And, whether you feel like you've done the work or are doing the work, right? So, if I'm going to share a little bit about myself, sometimes I'm really diligent and I'm doing all of the work. And I can go from a period of time, say I took a week off and I, started to feel bad about myself, started to feel all these different things. Then I go back, supercharge, even that one day. Guess what? All my clothes feel different, even in one day. I stand up a little taller. I feel like I think you have those moments where you feel a little bit stronger because you did the work. And what that is you're very proud of yourself for doing the work versus feeling the guilt of not doing the work. And how that manifests itself and kind of goes round and round in circles. I think, some of us yo-yo a little bit. We're on this train where we go up and down. And I think it's important to recognize how we treat ourselves when we go through that. And I think for me, in my late 40s, trying to figure out how to give myself that bit of grace and recognize the good things the good things and not hone in so much and focus on the things that are bad. The other thing is just your general body type. I've been curvy since the day I was born. And it's just, I was one of those girls in middle school that was like, "Ooh, I got to hide all this stuff." And not really sure of myself, not really sure of what to do with all of it. And I think it's important to recognize, like, you're not, yeah, you can change, you can do some work and you can make some fundamental changes, but in general, your body shape is your body shape, meaning the food that you put in and the weight that you put on, some of us put it on in certain areas. And if you gain weight again, if you've done a lot of work to transform your body and then you gain weight again, your body's still going to put it on in the same places that it always put it on. So I think it's just really important to kind of hone in on that same concept of strengths and weaknesses, and really recognizing that someone's strengths might be someone else's weaknesses, and flipping that over and saying vice versa is the same when we consider ourselves. It's personal. What you cherish in someone else, or you might look at someone else and go, wow, they have amazing legs, right? Or you focus on legs because yours might not be what you want. And vice versa, your stomach, you might have a really flat stomach and someone else might not, but they have really skinny legs. We need to kind of get out of this spot of always thinking the other side is better, and really honing in on being graceful with ourselves and saying, what are the things that I really have? And what are those things that I'm really proud of? So today I'm doing a workout class. I've been on this the last 3 weeks. I've been going and doing these really hard classes, 45 minutes. It's at 8:30 in the morning. And I really, the first few days, I remember looking in the mirror and going, oh gosh, here I am again. I let myself go. I let myself down, and was really coming down on myself. And that's not wasn't productive. I think, as I looked to the next week and the next week, I'm on week 3 right now. Nothing's changed. Not 1 ounce of I'm sore, but nothing has changed in 3 weeks time. Like, not, there's no miracle that's going to change everything in 3 weeks. And so, today, as I was in there, I started to say to myself, like, what are the things you love? What are the things you're proud of? I'm proud of the fact that I'm going. I'm proud of the fact that I'm putting one foot in front of the other and giving myself this push again to do it. And it goes back to some of the stuff we talked about in March. I'm proud of myself for not letting myself down. I'm proud of myself for keeping the promise to myself that I was going to do these classes. I don't have any excuse not to do these classes. So I think it's really important that we give ourselves a break. We've been talking a lot about, like, where do we put ourselves mentally? How can we challenge ourselves each day to be a little bit better? You're not going to just wake up one day and be, boom, I'm a different person. But we do the work little by little, and we have these little reminders. And that's what this Monday is for me. This video that I'm doing every Monday, it's little reminders. It's reminders for you, and it's reminders for me. I don't get this stuff right all the time, but I do this work on myself all the time. And I try to make sure that I'm making progress and that I'm doing things, better. We talked about the decades, right? You do things a little bit different each decade, not better, worse, just different, right? But you also need to find this spot where you're holding on to the things that you want to make promises for, right? And you're owning up to those and you're keeping them. You're letting go of all the times that you're saying yes when you really want to say no. If your first instinct is like, no, 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 please say no. Please just say no. Don't say yes. And then the last part of that is like, what are we envisioning ourselves to be? We have the capability to say whether we're proud of who we are. And if we're putting all of our strengths, right, all the things we're good at, if we're de-emphasizing those and saying they're worthless, guess what? We're not going to have a lot of confidence. We're not going to be strong in that room. You need to look at those things and say, these are amazing things that I'm really, really good at. Give yourself some credit for those things. It's not bragging, right? It's giving yourself credit for those things that you're really good at, giving yourself a break for those things that you're not so good at, but waking up each day and saying, I'm going to be a little bit better. I posted this week, was I better today than I was yesterday? And then I posted, damn right I was. I'm working on that. That's what I can work on each week. Am I better today than I was yesterday? Am I doing the work and figuring this out? So this week, I actually want you to look at your body. And I want you to define the things that you're really proud of, define the things that you're not so proud of. Put a plan together to work on the things that you're not so proud of, right? You're not proud of your legs, let's do some squats and leg lifts, right? You're not proud of your arms, let's do some bicep curls, let's do some tricep curls, right? Some dips, whatever you need to do, right? There's programs. You go to Pinterest, you can find any amount of program to work on a specific area. But then I want you to look at the things you are proud of. Do you have amazing arms? Do you just naturally have amazing arms? How about you give yourself credit for that? Do you have really great boobs? Great. Give yourself credit for that, right? You have amazing legs. You have really slim legs that you love. Give yourself credit. And when you're staring at the mirror, you're working out, or you're trying to do something that you've never done before, I want you to look at the areas that you love. Today, I honed in on my shoulders. I actually have some nice shoulders. I never even knew it. So that's my message for today. I want us to actually give ourselves a break for the things that we're not proud of, right? When it comes to our body image, there are so many versions of beautiful. Can I say that again? There are so many versions of beautiful. There's not just one version of beautiful. Everyone has pieces that are absolutely stunning. Focus on where you're stunning. Do the work on where you don't feel stunning, and give yourself a break. Talking to myself just as much as I'm talking to you guys. That's my message today, because this all comes together. We're talking about strengths and weaknesses when it comes to our personality. We need to talk about strengths and weaknesses when it comes to our physical form. And then we just need to stand up inside it, right? My other thing is, if I feel good on the outside, right? So I have my favorite jacket on today. This is one of my power moves. If I'm not feeling that great, guess what? You put a frumpy sweater on over not feeling that great, the day is doomed, right? But if I put this jacket on over a day that I'm not feeling that great, I instantly am like, hell yeah. So don't put frumpy stuff on when you're already feeling bad about yourself. Go get yourself a power piece that lifts you up. Pull yourself through that day. So I hope today's amazing. I hope you wear your amazing, fierce, power piece this week, and definitely share with all of us what it is. Let's go ahead and post some selfies. I'm going to post a selfie of myself in this jacket in the channel, and I want everyone to share what their power piece is. So have a great week. I'll talk to you next week. Thanks for being here, you guys. Thanks for sharing this with me. And I hope that this helped. Definitely hearing a lot of great things. So it's just been wonderful. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one. Bye.